So I've imported this into this footage into Premiere Pro, and this has already been named as well. Oops. Yay! Oh, you have to swap computers. Sorry. I'm sorry. If it doesn't have it, then I'll have to get the IT man to fix it. Oh no! Okay. So, you guys ready? I'm just going to run through this quickly, and then you can start editing. Okay. So I've got my footage here. This is from a previous student's version of the same scene. I've got my 2 singles, wide shot there, and then my 2 singles. Cool. So I'm just going to start with a wide shot and drag it into the timeline. And I might just make the audio track a little bit bigger so I can see the spike. And we're just going through the footage and looking for looking here where the clap is. It's really important that you can see it. And you can also see the spike there on the timeline if you know what to look for. I'll just turn up a bit. Oh, why does that work? Doesn't matter. And we can listen to it as well. If it works. Right. That's what I'm looking for. And I'll zoom in on the timeline, and that's where the spike is. So then I'll grab my audio. Your audio should be named properly as well. So then I can just go on and go, okay, it's this audio here, or wide one, sorry. And that's my audio track. Just drag that in. And I'll probably mute this while I'm looking for the spike and the audio track. So mute this track, and then looking for this, just listening the audio track to see where the spike is and lining it up. Now the audio for this one has been recorded in mono, so it's only going to be one track, which is fine. That's it there, the spike, and you can hear it as well. So then I'm just going to line it up like that. Woo. Be pretty much in sync. That is the same. Looks good to me. Cool. So you notice that the camera audio will be louder than this audio here. That's because the camera audio records a lot more of the background noise. So the audio from the Tascam, which will be green, will be better sound quality. So we've got it synced up like that. Then we just look at that and see if it's in sync. I'm just going to assume that that's fine. I can't actually see too well because it's so wide and it's very dark as well. So once it's synced up, then I'm just going to unlink the audio from this track here. So if you've got this link selection button on, then the audio and the video will be linked together, and you can just click that one to turn it off. Unlinks the audio and the video, and you can delete the camera audio by just selecting and pushing delete, and then bringing your audio and dialogue track in. And the last thing I'll do is just go select them. I'll shrink that as well to the start of the audio track, and then select them both and go right click, link. Cool. And then we're ready to do our editing. Cool. And you repeat that process. So I've got my wide shot there. And then I go back to my single one. And I grab that, put it on the timeline. Whoops. And repeat that process for I do the syncing first. So you do all the syncing first and then start editing. So sync up all your tracks first. I've done this a lot, so I'm pretty used to it. So I'm just going to assume that that's the correct place for it. So I've lined up the audio there. I'll just have a quick listen. I'll turn it up a bit as well because the audio from the, like I said, from the Tascam will always be a little bit quieter. Yeah, that looks good to me. So it's in sync. So then unlink the audio, camera audio, push delete it, and sync it up or relink it. Cool. So that's how we do our syncing. In terms of the editing, I'll just do one more actually. I'll do the last one. So really quickly. So single 2. The claps there. No, it's not. So you might have to scrub through quite a lot of footage if you guys to find the clap sometimes. So I'm going to assume that that is correct. Yep, that is correct. Oh no, that's wrong. See? Oh no. That's messed up. Shit. It's actually there. It's never going to be exactly in the same when you're lining them up. So as long as it's fairly close, that'll be fine. I'll just check that. That's oh, that looks like it's in sync. So I'm just going to quickly delete that. Delete that. And link that. Cool. So in terms of the editing, so I'm ready to start editing. I'll just relink them. And generally, when you're editing something like a dialogue scene, you want to start with the wide shots. So this one, the character walks in the room. Probably start it from about there. And then knock the camera. Cool. And then, so generally when we're editing a dialogue scene, we're cutting back and forward between the two shots. So shot, reverse shot is what it's called. So generally we start with the wide shot when the character enters the room or whatever the scene is to set the scene. And then we're cutting between the two shots. So for this one, when the guy sits down and says his first line of dialogue, then you cut. So every time the character says a dialogue, line, then we cut. I'll just do a really quick edit of this. That. Probably do that. A little bit rough. Something like that. Oh, and you got to, the things you got to be careful of is when you're editing stuff like this is when the actors talk over the top of each other. That can be really hard to edit. So if they've said their lines over the top of each other, that could be something that you have to try and fix in the post because it is difficult. So that's just something to be wary of. Yes. No, you don't need to do that. No. Only if you've recorded it in stereo and it's only on one track. This one's recorded in mono, so it doesn't need to be main stereo, but if you record it as a stereo file, but with only one microphone, then it would be only recorded on one side. Then you can fix that in Audition. That's what I don't know, I have to look at your sound files and check. But you can. To me, it doesn't really matter. I don't think. Yeah. So I'll just do a quick reverse shot with this edit. How much? That's all wasted. Okay. Okay. Cool. So that's my first couple of lines of dialogue. Character walks in. And you're just editing the shots between the two actors, looking out for things like when they talk over the top of each other, and also once you've done an edit, you want to go back and just make sure that the audio over the two tracks is nice and smooth as it cuts between one shot to the next. So the way that we can do that is just looking at your audio. You can do this quickly in Premiere Pro, just by bringing your audio tracks over the top of each other like that, so that they sort of run over the top of each other when they play. And you can use this effect, the couple of audio transition effects to smooth this out. So you can use audio transitions, constant gain over one of the tracks, the one that's fading out. So you want them to sort of fade into each other, so there's no sudden clips in between each audio take. And then exponential fade, like that. So you'll hear it more in the headphones than you will through these little speakers, but it's just making sure that everything sounds smooth and blends into each other. Cool. And that's it basically. Then you're just editing the scene shot, reverse shot, and then probably starting on the wide shot, probably ending on the wide shot as well. Cool. So the wide shot's really only useful. You can cut back to the wide shot if you want during the edit, or you can edit it however you want, but that's traditionally how you would start editing a scene like this. Cool. There we go. And that is the end of my tutorial. I will post this